Hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to today's cooking demonstration. Today we'll be doing a new recipe. It's one of the risotto recipes, and today we'll be doing a pea and pancetta risotto. So a very popular risotto dish in the region. So let's get cracking. I'll show you today how the system is loaded with the recipe, ingredients, and how the instruments and the containers and the utensils are all positioned using the interface. So let's go straight to the interface itself, go into the recipe, and you'll see here we have a list of recipes in our library. Now these recipes can be filtered according to dietary requirements, country of a recipe, or any specific requirements. We can filter the menu just on the right hand side. And let's go and select the risotto. So the pea and pancetta risotto. Let's have a look here. So we just go down here. There we go. So pancetta and pea risotto. So here we've got an indication of the ingredients. So it shows you the weight requirement of each item of that recipe. Also tells you the actual equipment required to make this particular recipe, which is the medium pot and the slotted spatula. And then we have nutritional facts as well. Now we have this information for all our recipes. So it gives you an indication of how much carbohydrates, fats, fiber, protein, and sodium there is in the recipe, which is your salt intake. Now we also have in all our recipes the Get Ingredients service, where you can actually send a message to somebody's phone or your own phone to grab the ingredients fresh from the store to be cooked as and when you need. So we have that function. We also have a second function where you can order your ingredients with delivery online, so you can register a local or preferred delivery company, and you can have your ingredients delivered to your door ready for cooking. So it's a great feature to have because you now have access to recipes from around the world. We have Indian, Asian, we have Chinese, we have Spanish, Italian, we have many recipes from different parts of the world, and this is all in our library and all accessible for you basically at your fingertips. So let's go straight into the recipe, and today we'll be doing the robotic cook for pancetta and pea risotto. Now here you see the diagram of our whole cooking station here with the robotic system in the middle, the shelves and the containers on the sides, and a very easy to follow guided system where it tells you what and how much you need to put in the container. And we have an indicator on our shelves with the LED light system as to where to position these containers as well. So it's a very simple system to load and prepare these particular ingredients. Now the ingredients have to be manually prepared by yourself, and you then have full control over the recipe, because there are sometimes elements of the recipe you may just not want to have any salt, or you may want to substitute onions with leeks or something. So you may want to slightly customize a recipe if required. So you still have full control and you still have control of the manual ingredient preparation. So let's go straight to the first item on here, which is the olive oil. Now this is from a normal olive oil dispenser. The LED lights indicates where it's located, which is at the front of the top shelf, which is in position, and I can confirm that's already there. We then have the brown onions and garlic. Now we have very short videos of the recipe ingredient preparation to make sure that the actual recipe is cooked exactly the way it should be. So here we've got 100 grams of onion and you've got 12 grams of garlic. Now some of these ingredients I have already prepped before just to save a bit of time, and I'll simply be loading that onto the shelf right now. But we do have also an integrated scale system, you notice at the bottom there. So this integrated scale system makes sure there's no errors occurred in parts of the recipe process, because then you can accurately weigh all the ingredients. Now this is exactly what a professional chef or well-known chef would be doing. They'll be measuring their ingredients very, very accurately to get the optimum taste and result for the recipe. And obviously the most important thing is consistency. So hence we will include the integrated scale system. So second item is going to be the garlic and the brown onion. Here we have it already prepped in the container, and that's going to go in this top shelf indicated by the LED light. So that's confirmed. Next is the actual pancetta itself. Now this is bought fresh from the store earlier, just before we were doing this demonstration, so we know that all these ingredients are highly fresh and nutrient and good quality for this recipe demonstration. So confirm that on the second point on the top shelf. The arboro rice and molten sea salt is in the next container. Confirm. Dry white wine, it's quite an important element for this recipe for the taste, and that's in position there. Now if you don't, like I said before, if you don't want to have any alcohol, you can't have any alcohol in this particular recipe, you can simply substitute the wine with, say, some lemon juice or something similar to give you that acidic sort of flavor. So here we've got the white wine in position, and here we've got some vegetable stock. Now this is 400 grams of vegetable stock in the long container, so that's indicated in this position here. Confirm. Then we have vegetable stock of 200 grams, also in the long container, at the bottom shelf indicated with this LED light here. Confirm. I'm going to come to the peas at the end because I want to show you how the integrated scale system works. So let's just skip the peas for the moment. And then the final bit of the vegetable stock, which is 110 grams of vegetable stock indicated on the top shelf there. So let's put that in position very carefully. And that's confirmed. And then we've got Parmesan cheese, unsalted butter, and flat leaf parsley. Now this will be going into the large container on the bottom shelf here. There we have. So we can confirm that. So there's all my ingredients. Now let's just go back to the peas because I want to show you how our integrated scales, so our scales are integrated to the interface. So you simply put the container on the actual scale. So let's go to the peas. Let's click on the container, which is going to be located on the bottom shelf. Let's put this container on the scales and turn this on. And you'll notice at the bottom the scales will be activated, and it's telling me that I need 200 grams. So I have my peas here ready, and I'm going to now put in 200 grams and keep an eye on the indicator at the bottom to make sure that it's exactly 200. 125, 27, 56, 68, 74, 80, 91, 99, maybe one more pea. 200, there we go. That's exactly 200, so that's exactly what I need for this recipe, and that's going to be located on the bottom shelf in that position. Confirm. So as you can see, that was very simple. I mean, to be honest, to actually prep this particular recipe only took about 5, 6, 7 minutes. It didn't take long at all. So that's all done. And the second part is just to make sure that all the equipment is in the right location. And it's asking for the medium pot to be on the left side, which is already it is. So that's in position, that's fine. And finally, the slotted spatula on the number one hook. There's two options. It could be on number one or number two, but it's already pre-selected number one. And it's important that the diagram is clearly shown on here So it's to make sure that the spatula is facing the right way, not this way, but the way outwards on the number 1 hook. And the diagram here enables you to see clearly how all the utensils should be positioned. So let's confirm that. So that's it. That's my utensils in position. And now I can start cooking. So what we have here, we have information prior to the recipe telling me exactly how long this recipe duration is, which is 45 minutes. And during the recipe, I'll start cooking now as it activates. We've got a voice notification, so we'll be able to hear the whole cooking process and each part of the process. As you can hear there, switching hob on, and telling me exactly what it will be doing at each stage. Whilst it's cooking, today we're going to be on Instagram and YouTube, so we can have a live chat. So if you've got any questions you want to ask about the system, whether it's for residential or commercial, send it through. Anything commercial or anything more technical that I can't answer, I will be able to get a member of the team to respond. If you can kindly just simply go and send your question in through our website, our contact us page, and send in your inquiry or your query, and we'll be happy to respond with a relevant team member. So there we go. So the recipe started. As you can see, it actually didn't take long at all. I know it's quite a long recipe, 45 minutes, but it allows me to free up some time. So it's time saving now. That 45 minutes, rather than standing over a risotto. Now risotto needs a lot of stirring and standing over the actual pot for the cooking process. There's no need, because the robotic system is like having a personal chef. It's actually going to be doing the whole cooking process from scratch without any intervention from myself, and it will be cooking the meal and indicating and telling me when it's complete as well and ready to be served. So that allows me to maybe clean the kitchen, clean everything behind me, carry on working. A lot of people are working from home, so I could carry on working, spend more time with family and friends. If I have a young family, I could be spending more time doing the homework, or a lot more quality time is released to do other things. So let's quickly pop onto Instagram and YouTube, see if there's any questions coming in.
Tip onions.
Okay, no questions in for the moment. So tip onions, the onions are going in. Now the robotic arm itself is industrial level, and it's already tested for 35,000 hours. So in a normal residential environment, that's probably about 10 years of constant and regular use of the arm, where you wouldn't have to worry about any kind of maintenance or servicing, to be honest. It just needs a wipe, maybe with a fiber cloth once in a while, or just on the surface areas. Other than that, it comes as a one complete sealed unit, and tested at a very high industrial level, and doesn't require any maintenance at all. The arm itself is already in different applications, about 90,000 different applications around the world in different industries, in laboratories, engineering companies, industrial plants, and so on. So it's already been used in 90,000 different places around the world. So we have complete worldwide support with our partners. So if there's any issues in the future, or any changes that need to be made, or upgrades and so on, we have partners around the world that can easily do the upgrade and do anything required in terms of the robotic system. Now we're CE certified. The whole system has got a worldwide patent. So our system, the software around the robotics is fully patented. It's got a worldwide patent. And we are CE certified for UK and Europe, so we're able to ship our product out to those areas. But also for the US and the Far East, we can supply as X Works, which means that you'll just be responsible for shipping and air freight, for example. So that's the only element, but we can support you with all the relevant documents required in terms of customs and taxes and so on. So you'll have full support on that. In terms of the different models that we have available, now this model that we're doing the demonstration on today is our X-Air model. So this is like combined with the rest of the kitchen, where you have the back-to-wall furniture. This has got a peninsula which has the robotic system. Normally it will be faced the other way into the kitchen, but we have a showroom here in London in Wigmore Street. So this is one of our prime locations in terms of the showroom, and showing people who are walking by or passing by, just generally how the system is working. We do about 2 to 3 different recipes every day. If we don't do a recipe, there's always a dry run going on, so people can actually see the system in action. And you're all welcome to visit the showroom if you're very close by and local. We are open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you want also to discuss any projects or anything that you want to know, you're more than welcome to make an appointment. We can arrange a cooking demonstration, we can arrange a design meeting, and you just simply need to come in with some information in terms of the size of the area, a plan, maybe an architectural drawing or interior design drawing, and we can assist you with the design side and also the technical side of the robotic system, and help you design the whole interior, kitchen interior, combined with maybe other furniture as well. So if you've got an open plan kitchen, we can take into consideration the kind of finishes that we can probably suggest to match the rest of your interior. Now we work with some of the very famous Italian brands, likes of Minotti, for example. They are one of our main supportive companies that we use in terms of furniture. Now we do, as you can see just behind me on my right, we do a high gloss black metallic finish. Just beyond that, we do the B-Air sky blue metallic kitchen, and these are our B-Air models, and they're more for sort of like compact areas where you don't have the open plan space, but you want everything against one wall. You're able to do that with a B-Air model. And also just behind me on my left here, behind this particular kitchen, is the chef's table. Now this is one of our most popular units because it's a standalone system. It doesn't require integration with other furniture. It's a pure standalone system which measures about a 1.2 by 1.2 meter square. It's a simple plug-in model. You just plug it in to 220 volts, and an hour's use of this arm in all the models only actually uses about 120 watts of energy. So it's a highly efficient system as well. So our chef's table is very popular. It's a standalone system. You have options with the actual panel colors and finishes, and that's really quite popular in terms of installing it, and very, very simple unit to install. Let's check to see if there's any questions come through. Nothing at the moment. So the onions and the pancetta is already in, and that's cooking away nicely. Now we have an integrated Moley hob, induction hob, which has the downdraft extractor, so all the smells and the smoke goes straight through the extractor. Now you have the option with the extractor to have it ducted out, or you have the option of it to go through a filter system and come through the bottom of the plinth through a vent as fresh air. So you have options in terms of the ventilation for your hob. We also use Siemens induction hobs as well. And we use Moley and Siemens purely because of the accuracy level, because we teach the arm all these different parameters and manipulations, and we find that the Moley and the Siemens are very good in terms of just precise locations of temperature adjustment, turning the hob on and off, etc., etc. Because the actual robotic system does everything. Not only does it just pour the ingredients exactly the same way and stir exactly the same way a chef would be doing this, but it's also in full control of the hob unit as well and other areas in terms of the cooking process. Okay, so we have a question in from on YouTube from Mr. or Mrs. VJZ. Does the arm have sensors in it? If someone's hand gets in the way, will it notice and divert, stop its movement? The arm itself doesn't have sensors, but it has been tested for high-level safety requirements. So there are lots of part of the CE certification and the iOS safety standards is to make sure that if there is a collision, that it's pressure tested, so it does stop. It does indicate on the interface that an error has occurred, and you can reactivate and continue the recipe, making sure the environment is nice and safe. You do also have the option of a radar system, so you can install a radar system, which is an invisible screen. So if anybody was to put the hand in the area close to the robotic arm, the system would automatically pause if your arm or whatever that is in the way is removed, and then you can continue the cooking process. That's the radar system that we have as well as an optional extra. So yes, we have all those areas covered in terms of if anyone hand gets in the way or any diversion is required or any collision has occurred. Okay, let's just see if there's any questions on Instagram. Yes, we have a question in from Canon Gantz. Are we able to modify recipes beforehand? Say we don't like garlic or something. Yes, you are. So, as I mentioned before, you are in full control of all the ingredients. For example, in this risotto, we've got white wine. If you don't like white wine or you don't have alcohol, you can substitute the white wine with, say, lemon juice. So, even though it indicates white wine required in the container, it will still cook it if you replaced it with lemon juice. So, you can simply customize the recipes as you go along. Some people don't like parsley. They may want to change the parsley to coriander or something, and so on. So you are able to change the element of the ingredients. It won't stop the cooking process. And I mean, there are a lot of people who don't actually eat onions and garlic. So even with the garlic side, you can substitute the garlic with, say, celery or something else very similar that can give you that kind of a nice, deep, sort of earthy taste. So yes, you can simply replace, as long as you've got the right weight requirement and it's cut and prepared the way it should be. If it's like small dices, then it should be in small dices. Because remember, we have taught the robotic arm all these different movements according to the type of ingredient and the size of it and the shape of it and so on. So it's to make sure that the recipe, the final outcome of the recipe is as it should be. Another question in from Johan Helfridger. Just saying serve us. So yeah, not sure what you mean by serve us, but if you'd like to elaborate, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, let's see if there's any further question. No, none on that one. Okay, cool. So, so the flagging system on here, you can probably hear in the background the whole process of this particular recipe. So it's just basically an indicator. You may have an app on your phone. We can have an app on our phone, for example, and you can have this beside you if you're working from home or if you're busy doing something else in the house or watching TV even. You could just be on the couch watching a movie and you want to keep an eye on what's happening in the kitchen. You can simply either just mute. You can mute the whole thing, or you can just have it on a low volume. You can hear each part of the process in the kitchen as well. We also do have an optional vision system as well. We have cameras built in. This vision system is purely there to just scan the environment, making sure it's safe and everything is in the correct position. But we do have that as well.
Stir 1.
So the boro rice has gone in. It's going to do the constant stirring, which is important. Now risotto requires a lot of stirring and a lot of stock. And a lot of people actually don't like cooking risotto because only purely because of the time factor. So the robotic system actually takes that away, takes that element of having to stand over the hob and continuously stir and keep an eye on it and so on and so on. Remember, all these actions are timed, and the recipe repeats exactly as it should do every single time. So it's always got to be consistent. So we have an in-house chef, James, together with our engineering team, who test all these recipes vigorously, and within a few hours all these recipes are in the library. You can also add your own recipe. So if you've got a traditional home recipe, you send that in to us. Send us maybe a little workflow or some sort of description as to how it's cooked, and we will, together with the chef and the engineers, try and optimize that particular recipe and create it exactly as it should, or as you would produce it. And look at all the parameters and movements that we already have, the generic movements, and add more movements if required according to your recipe, and try and get the final result as it should be. So you can add your own recipes, family favorites, traditional recipes that have been maybe handed down in generations, and we can add that to the library. So let's see, another question here from Canon Gantz. Thank you very much for the response. One more question, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I noticed the robot placed the spatula back on the rack, still dirty, and then took it back off to stir again. Yeah, that's correct. So basically, it stirred, put it on the rack, but it's exactly what the chef would do. I mean, as opposed to putting it on the rack, he may put it on a side plate next to the pan, and so on. So it's nothing indifferent to what a chef would be doing in cooking this recipe. The only difference is we put it on a hook only because of the kind of movements the robotic arm can do. It's far easier to have it vertical on a hook for the grippers to grab and take and stir. So it's a much more efficient process. So we make all the recipes as efficient as possible within the parameters that we have, and making sure that it's the final result is as it should be. But it doesn't have an impact on the final result or the taste. It tastes exactly the same as if the spatula was on the side plate, on a lower level, and so on.
Stir 2.
But you notice that the spatula is scraped on the top of the pan, so it does remove any loose bits of the ingredients. So to be honest, the actual environment, the cooking area, the cooking zone is a lot cleaner than your normal cooking area. We do tend to make a lot of mess when we do cook. I don't think there's any cook or anybody that can cook absolutely spotlessly, but believe me, it's the system here is very, very clean. There's very, very minimal amount of mess around the pot, even around, there's only 1 grain of rice there, as opposed to in a plate if you're cooking at home. Or even if the chef is cooking, I'm sure there'll be a lot more in the small plate or the side plate when they're cooking. But this is a very clean, precise, and a minimal amount of mess created. Another question in from Canon Gantz. At the end of the cooking, does it wipe clean tools, or does it alert the user that certain tools were used and need cleaning? No, at the end of the cooking process, it doesn't wipe clean. The only wipe clean it does is the scraping of the spatula. Everything else, these are our own special containers. Everything else literally just goes straight to a dishwasher. Now, as you can see, the stock was just being poured from this container. It will go back on the shelf, and that's it. All I have to do is, whilst when the recipe's finished, I can either put all the containers straight into the dishwasher and let it cook. Risotto obviously needs a lot of stirring and simmering. So whilst that's happening with the recipe, I can actually take all these containers, load my dishwasher, The robotic system is still cooking my meal, and I can start the cleanup process a lot earlier than you normally would. So that enables you to then enjoy the meal a lot more. I think psychologically that really helps, because when you're finishing the meal, you know you can go back to a kitchen that's really clean, and you'll enjoy, I think, the meal a lot more. The Nasho 17, amazing. Thank you very much. I like those little emojis. Thank you. Kanangans, thank you very much. Very helpful. Fantastic product and tech. Thank you very much. And keep following us. And if there's any requirements that on your side, send us some details, and we'll be happy to discuss your requirements. And we can arrange also design meetings here in the showroom. And we can also arrange complimentary demonstrations. And we can actually cook these recipes in front of you, and it gives you the opportunity to see exactly how it works and how efficient it is, and also even taste the food as well, which is really important. Okay, let's check on YouTube. Any further questions there? So, based on cooking like this, I mean, there are a lot of studies that have been done around the world, you know, in particular with the Global Research Program, and studies done in places like North Carolina, in Chapel Hill, saying that, you know, cooking from home is far more healthier than eating takeaways, meals from outside. I mean, don't get me wrong, eating in a restaurant is okay. It's more for the experience and the convenience and for the social aspect of eating in a restaurant. But when it comes to health, there's nothing better than cooking at home. So whether you just cook at home in general, we aim to have a system like this that can help and assist you in making home cooking a lot easier, a lot more accessible, a lot more recipes from around the world that you wouldn't normally consider literally accessible at your fingertips, even to the point where you don't even have to go out and get the ingredients. We even have the function where you can get these ingredients delivered to your door. So if you're doing entertaining a group of people and you can't leave the house because you're too busy organizing everything, you can just simply get the ingredients as you would order a takeaway, but instead you order in your fresh ingredients. So they come to your door and then you start cooking. That's it. It's so simple. Now, cooking healthier, a lot of these studies have concluded that cooking at home can drastically reduce a lot of ailments that people have in terms of health and so on. It can reduce cancer by about 6%. It can reduce diabetes by about 48%, and lots of other kidney diseases by about 61%. So the health benefits is quite important and very important to know. And longevity of your life, you can actually, you know, cooking regularly at home, you can add almost 10 to 11 years to your life. And a lot of people nowadays, especially post-COVID, are really keeping an eye on what they eat, keeping an eye on their salt intake, how much sugar they have, a lot more health conscious. So by having a system like this enables you to make sure you have a healthy lifestyle in terms of food for yourself and the family. Questioning on Instagram from Afandi, how can we watch, I think that's what it means, instead of watch the video from the beginning. So maybe best to go to the YouTube page, because all our videos over the last year or so where we've been doing cooking demonstrations are all on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you'll be able to go as far back as last year, for example, and you'll see things like sweet and sour prawn stir fry, lamb keema, spaghetti bolognese, another risotto Milanese, and loads of other recipes that we've done using our system. Just to show you how versatile the system is, it can actually cook any recipe within the parameters that we have from scratch. Okay, got another question in from Afandi. How much will the price of this robot? That's a very good question. Now, I was going to come to that later on as part of my FAQs. But anyway, yes, so the price of the robotic system. So the standalone system starts from around about £80,000. And we have different models from the X-Air, as you see here, to the B-Air behind me, to around about £100,000, £110,000. So it really depends on the architecture of the kitchen and what sort of finishes you have and so on. But we have access, as I mentioned to you before, access to lots of different finishes, and our furniture suppliers are very good in giving us options. So if there's a particular budget that you want us to work to, we can certainly have a look at that. We can look at lots of different areas in terms of early adopter discounts and so on. So we can give you a special pricing based on early adopters. So I would say get in touch as soon as possible and make use of that particular pricing for early adopters. And also beta testing. So if you have a very high profile presence on some of the YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or any of those sort of platforms, if you have a lot of followers and a lot of people that you engage with, do get in touch with us, because we can then offer some sort of beta testing program, and which will allow you to have the system at a very special price, and which means that you just have to do a lot more of the platform programs, and we can certainly discuss. But get in touch with us. Go to our website, go to our contact us page, send us a profile, and we can certainly discuss opportunities in a lot more detail. So just going back onto the price of Andy, so those prices are very similar to prices of premium kitchens, very luxurious kitchens on the market, currently on the market. So we are located on Wigmore Street, which is the heart of the kitchen industry in central London. Now, there are lots of these kitchens that we've sent to different companies just to get some pricing information. And to be honest, a lot of the kitchen companies are almost exactly the same price as ours, but the difference is our price includes the robotic system. So you get the robotic arm, you get the shelving in different designs, you get the utensils, you get the containers. Beneath all of this, you've got the control box, you've got the brains of the system, the heart of the system working underneath on a special frame which supports the arm to stop any movements and so on. So it's quite a heavy duty industrial level system, very robust in its operations, and very efficient and reliable. Also with the containers, there are some clients that are ordering several sets of these containers because they want to be able to meal plan, say for example, morning, afternoon and dinner. So you can have 3 or 4 sets of these containers, already prepped ingredients, already in the fridge, ready to be cooked. So you got your meal plan already organized. You can even add more containers for, say, a whole week's worth. So a lot of people nowadays, they meal plan for the whole week, and they cook maybe large portions of particular dishes that will last for 2-3 days in the fridge. So you don't have to cook for 2-3 days. It's more convenient. This system also adds to the convenience by simply having all these ingredients. They come with special lids, which are vacuum sealed. So you can have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a whole week's worth of ingredients in the fridge, ready to be cooked as and when you require. Now that's a very, very good way of food management, because in this country we have about 200,000 tons of food that we throw away from our fridges every year. So you can imagine the impact on the environment of all that waste of food and all that energy required to keep that food in the fridge. The energy consumption is such a shame, it's such a waste of energy. Whereas more specific, more defined recipes that are in the fridge gives you much more efficient control in the actual fridge itself. So that's helping the environment. and there's literally zero waste as well. So you only keep in your fridge what you want for that week, and people go shopping, they shop for a week anyway. So here all you do is you prepare your meals for a week, and that's it. You're helping the environment and reducing waste. Another question in from Afandi. The user only pay the robot price, or is there any subscription fees? Yeah, I mean, there will be subscription fees according to all the different models that we have. But at the moment, the user pays the price, so they pay a 30% deposit to get the order order process started. They then pay a 40% payment, second payment, prior to production. So once we finalize the architecture of your kitchen and everything's confirmed in terms of the layout and the finishes and so on, we then put a 40% deposit down so we can start the production of the robotic system, the control box, everything required for the robot itself, because it is made to order. And then also start processing the furniture, work surfaces, part of that order as well. For the chef's table, there's not much involved, so the lead time on a full kitchen is normally about 3 to 6 months, but on the chef's table, probably more around about the 3-month period. But on the financial side, we are flexible, so if somebody wants to spread the payments, say over a 6-month or 8-month or 9-month period, we can set up a special agreement or special contract, so you can make individual payments, spread the payments across a certain period. So once the final payment is done, we will then come to install the whole robotic kitchen for you. So that can be arranged. So that can help on the financial side as well. Okay, let's just see if there's any other questions on YouTube. No, nothing on YouTube at all. I think most of the questions are coming in from Instagram today. This is good. Just going back on the costs side, so I've mentioned the actual cost of the system. Now, let me just put it in perspective, the return on the investment. Now, an average bowl, or an average family, in fact, in this country, say an average family of 4, who eat out regularly, have takeaways, go to restaurants on a regular basis, can easily spend up to about £43,000 a year, can you believe? So that's quite a high amount of, a lot of money spent on that kind of lifestyle. So our model starts from about 80,000, 90,000 and so on. So after about 2-3 years, you've already got the return on your investment. So that's a major factor. And also, right down to the core of it, a spaghetti bolognese in a good restaurant or a good establishment here in the UK costs around about 15 to 18 pounds. That's a very good quality recipe. Now those actual same ingredients we analysed actually only cost about 5 or 6 pounds. So you can imagine the amount of financial benefits that has in terms of saving money, returning your investment, and not only that, the other crucial point is it's a healthier lifestyle, which is another major factor. So it's such a win-win situation in terms of a system like this, which promotes eating from home, cooking from home, and definitely improving lifestyle as well. Another question in from Afandi. Your business model is not easy to scale. Please reach out for me for higher scalable business model. As I mentioned earlier, we do commercial models as well. So we do have a commercial team. Now, what I would suggest, Afandi, is we can scale up. I'll just give you one example. We can this pot here can serve about 2, 3, or 4 people maximum. We can actually make the same recipe with larger portions of the ingredients in a large pot, which is about 10 kg, which can serve about 30, 40, up to about 50 people. So this is totally scalable. What you see here is just our residential models, but we do have a dedicated commercial team that will be more than happy to discuss any commercial opportunities. So I would say, Effendi, just send in a quick email onto our via our contact us page, and just give us an indication of what you mean in terms of a business model. Give us some more information from your side, and we can maybe start a discussion and see what we can do and work together. We can collaborate, and certainly we can support you in any scalable situation. Okay. Okay, so most of the stock is now gone in, and we've got the stock left and the cheese left shortly, and it's going to be cooking the risotto as well as it should. Risotto is actually quite very difficult to cook, to be honest, to get the rice as it should be. Some people like it al dente, some people like it soft, but we are always going to be cooking risotto, whether it's risotto Milanese, whether it's mushroom risotto, whether it's this pea and pancetta risotto. The rice is always cooked as it should be, as the professional chefs would be serving this in a restaurant, for example. So the outcome of all these recipes are of a very high level. Okay, let's see if there's any further questions on YouTube. Nothing at the moment. And back on to Instagram.
Stock 3.
So their stock 3 is going in. So that's the final bit of the stock that's going to be going in. As I mentioned before, we do, like I say, we have recipes from around the world. We have, for example, I'll give you some examples. We have salmon red Thai curry from Thailand, a nice vegetarian dish. Obviously salmon, some people don't have salmon, but that's a lovely recipe. Crab bisque, dal makhni, Sri Lankan coconut prawn curry, that's very popular. It's a very tasty dish. Barley, veg and miso broth, which is a microbiotic recipe. Now, we do these recipes from Shah Wellness, based in Spain. Which are recipes which are extremely high in nutritional values, but very low in calories. So if you are on some sort of weight management program, or if there's a very strict dietary requirement, there are recipes in our library that you are enabled to still have and enjoy, but not having a major impact on your health in terms of the negative impact. So the Shah cuisine is absolutely fantastic. If you get a chance, look it up, SHA, Shah Wellness Cuisine from Spain. We have about 8-9 different recipes from that collection, and the robotic arm cooks all of them from scratch. So they are very simple to process and prepare ingredients. Miso, we have lots of different types of broths. We have tofu, we have soft tofu as well. And lots of, like for example, they do white bean stew, for example. I mean, that's full of so many healthy ingredients. You've got the white bean, you've got butternut squash, you've got carrots, you've got celery. Some of those ingredients are absolutely fantastic and so good for your metabolic health, mental health, cerebrovascular health. If you've got hypertension, if you've got high blood pressure, those kind of recipes are absolutely fantastic. and it really helps in giving you and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. We also have recipes like coconut rice pudding as well, an Indian dish. So not only do we do savory recipes, but we also do some sweet dishes. Now we're going to try and add a lot more sweet dishes to our collection. So in the next few weeks, I mean, every month we aim to have about 3 to 4 new recipes. And our in-house chef, James Taylor, together with some well-known chefs as well, we do collaborate for the likes of Tim Anderson. He was a Master Chef runner-up in the UK, and we've got some of his recipes. We have also teamed up with Andreas Caminada, a famous Swiss chef, Uncle Roger, famous Korean chef, Nick DiGiovanni, famous Italian stroke American chef. We have some of his recipes. Now he's actually been into our showroom, and he's actually tasted some of our recipes against some of his own, and he just couldn't tell the difference. So that's the level and the quality of some of these recipes that we cook. Also Andrew Clark and Atou Sefer from Persia. We have Persian super joe, is a lovely recipe with a bit of chicken, and some of these recipes you wouldn't even consider, but as I mentioned before, at your fingertips you have access to a recipe from anywhere around the world, and that's the beauty of the system like this.
Tip Parmesan.
So Parmesan is going in now, so we're nearly at the final stage of the cooking process. Now if you just flick back to the actual interface, you'll see on there the flagging system, and at the bottom the percentage of the cooking process, because I could be at home working, it's near 5 o'clock, but it's actually 4 o'clock now. It's almost 5 o'clock. I've already turned on the cooking and started the robot with this risotto recipe. I'm now just finalizing my meetings for the rest of the day, making my final calls, my final emails and so on, and knowing that when I finish work, my actual recipe, my dinner is ready. So it's almost exactly like having a personal chef. But the beauty of this is 24/7. You can activate this any time of the day. If you've already got the ingredients prepped in the fridge, you just simply take them out, put them on the shelf and just press play. That's it, that's all you do. And you just wait for the recipe to be cooked. So we're 95% of the way through, and I will be tasting this and showing you this recipe, the actual final result on the camera, live on camera. So you can see that I haven't touched anything. I haven't poured any of the ingredients. I haven't done any of the stirring. I have done absolutely zero interaction in terms of the cooking of this particular recipe. The robotic arm has done all that for me. So I'll be showing you that on camera exactly what the final result is, and I'll do a little taste test as well. So 96%, and it's just going to do a few more stirs, and then we will be complete. So let's have a look, see if there's any final questions before we end our cooking demonstration today. So let's have a look here. Nothing on YouTube. It's very quiet on YouTube today. Let me just refresh the page just in case. Maybe I missed some questions there. Nope, still quiet on YouTube. So you guys must be enjoying watching this then. That's great. Okay, let's go back onto Snapchat. Oh, sorry, Instagram. I beg your pardon. I think we should be on Snapchat, actually. Maybe TikTok as well. But anyway, let's go back on Instagram and let's see how many more questions we have. Okay, so we've got a question in from Canningants. Are recipes mostly stove-top based as opposed to oven bakes, grilled recipes, etc.? Okay, good question. So the model here, XM model, is purely a hob-based system, cooking on the hob. BM model, the black one here just behind me, is also a hob-based cooking system. But the blue one, you can just probably see in the distance, just to my right there at the back. Now that has also an oven function as well. So we are just beta testing some oven recipes. So we should have in a few weeks or months a lot more recipes that we can cook in the oven. So not only will it be able to cook on the hob, but it'll be able to reach to the side, open the oven door, take out the tray, put the pan in the tray,
finished.
close and activate the oven. So this will be able to use an oven as well, and then you can obviously use all the functions in the oven, which is the grilling, steam baking, normal oven baking, and so on. So we do have a model now which does oven baking as well. Can you text here all the recipes you have in the database? I could, but it's going to be quite a big file. So Aurora Gok, could you kindly just send us a little message on the contact us page, and a member of the admin team will then send you a full list of all the recipes. But even on our website, there's lots of recipe information on the website. You'll see all the different categories, but there are lots of recipes that are shown on the website. So have a look on the website first. Send us a quick contact us message, and I'll get admin to send you a full list of all the recipes, where they're from, who the famous chefs are, and give you as much information as possible. Aurora got, oven is usually cooked by itself. I can do it without robot. Yes, you could do it without a robot. Of course you can. You can do lots of things without the robot, but this is time saving. The things that you would do in the oven, let the robot arm do that for you. You can release time and do something else. You could be entertaining. You could have friends. You could have family. The system is designed to give you more quality time. Is to give you consistent meals, and is to give you access to recipes from around the world you'd never consider trying. So it's a system that's like having your own personal chef, basically. So that does everything for you. And also efficiency is really important, because you noticed it also turns on the hob, it controls the hob and everything. So all this is timed, all this is very, very accurate, because remember, you've got to make this as efficient as possible. An hour's use of this particular arm is only using about 120 watts of energy. So it will turn on the hob, turn off the hob only when and where it's required. For example, it can make pasta sauce on one side, make the actual pasta on the other side, and only turn on the pasta when it's required, and turn it off as soon as it's finished. So you're saving energy there. You're only using the energy as and when it's required. When it comes down to the oven, it'll do exactly the same. Turn on the oven, do the setting, turn it off when it's finished, and so on. Sometimes we leave the oven on, sometimes we leave the oven on in the wrong temperature, but this will never make the mistake. This is going to be so reliable that in the long run, it's going to save you a lot of time, and also going to be highly efficient and save you some money as well. Okay, let's just jump onto YouTube. Okay, nothing on YouTube there, nothing on Instagram there. Okay, cool. So I think it's time now to do a taste test. I'm going to just pour this out into a bowl and show you guys. Right, so let's have a look. I don't even need to stir this. I just simply take it out of the pan and straight into my bowl. This looks absolutely amazing. It's exactly what you'd probably get in the restaurant. Now I'm going to go close up to the camera so you guys can see. Hopefully you can see that. This is the final result. As you can see, this is exactly how you receive a meal like this in a restaurant, in a high quality restaurant. You can see the pancetta, the peas and the alboro rice, and you can see it's absolutely lovely. It's so well cooked. I've not stirred it, I've not done anything to it. It's as it is, straight from the pan. So let's do a quick taste test. Okay, here we go. Amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, I've been to a lot of restaurants and this just tastes exactly the same. It tastes really good. You can even taste the Parmesan as well. So, we hope you enjoyed today's cooking demonstration of our pea and pancetta risotto, one of our latest additions to our risotto family recipes. And keep an eye on YouTube, keep an eye on Instagram, follow us on all these different platforms, and go onto our website. You'll see all regular updates and so on. And if you get a chance to come and visit us here in London, 16A Wigmore Street, right parallel to Oxford Street, we have a showroom here that you can come and see all these recipes being cooked, even taste some of this food as well. And we can also sit down and discuss your design requirements, have a design meeting, do some complimentary cooking demonstrations, and give you a chance to have a look at all of this. But thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us today. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next cooking demonstration. Goodbye.